All right, bud. We're going to shift gears now. We're going to move over to the UFC. We're in the fight from Baku, Azerbaijan. Starting off with the co-main event, we had Rafael Fiziev fighting against Ignacio Bahamondes. Now, homecoming fight, like I said, for Fiziev. Fiziev, to me, very explosive, twitchy fighter. The more technically sound guy, but a tough style to fight against Bahmones. Bahmones so tall, so long. I was talking to Bennett before the fight, and he compared him in ways to Sebastian Fundora in boxing. You know, he's about 6'2", 6'3", fighting in the 155-pound division there. And he gives up his height like he does. He doesn't know really how to use those great physical advantages. And I thought, to me, that showed and came up in a lot of spots where Fiziev knew his identity, took control of the fight, landed the bigger, harder shots, more efficient. In the end, got the decision. What'd you make of this fight? What'd you think of Rafael Fiziev and his comeback after losing 3 in a row heading into this one?
You set it up. Listen, I love working with you because you know boxing. You can talk about boxing. I can have a conversation. You can even bring stuff out in me. You could take me places. You could challenge me. So I just want to thank you for being here for those reasons. I'm not blowing smoke up your, because why would I? You're my son. There's plenty of times I'm yelling at you like a father, but not now. You set it up the way you set up. Well, you don't do it anymore, but you used to set up for little Teddy the Fourth, the baseball on the tee to hit it. Now he hits it when you pitch to him, and he's a good hitter. This is perfectly set up for me on the tee. Bahmones did not know how to fight tall real well. He didn't use his jab enough. He didn't control range. You're tall like that, you got to control range for 2 reasons. One, you keep the guy at the end of your punches or kicks, whatever, and you make it difficult for them to close the gap. In other words, if you're using your reach and your height properly, they have to take more of a risk than normal to get to you. And then you capitalize on that risk. You keep them at the end, you tempt them to make mistakes, you tempt them to reach, you tempt them to lunge, and then you take advantage. There wasn't a lot of that. So you could easily say, and you led me into it, that Bahmones didn't know how to fight tall on a consistent level. But I'm going to take it somewhere else, which I usually do when I think it should. Fiziev showed you how to fight small. Bang. He is a master fighter. That guy is good. He is solid. He's talented with everything. He's explosive. He's athletic. So is Bahmones. But Fiziev, the short man versus the tall man, the short man knew how to fight short. He inched his way in. He didn't lunge. He closed the gap. He outstruck him with jabs in spots because timing is important. It's not just size. He got into the right position, into the right gaps, and then he timed him. He beat him to the mark. Again, he didn't cooperate. He didn't make Bahmones' job easy by reaching, by getting frustrated, by getting anxious. He was patient. He was controlled. He even stepped out sometimes and got Bahmones to bite, to come and give up his height, where then he could counter. Then he could get him. He could find him in a position without reaching for him. He was so well-rounded. He don't get enough credit, this Fiziev. He is a solid, well-rounded. Yes, he's got explosive neon abilities, but maybe his greatest talent is the sum of his parts, the total package. That he's just mentally and technically, he's a solid guy. And it spoke to me because I looked for that in boxing. And at the end of the day, he showed himself, I mean, terrific striker, Just terrific, able to handle all elements in there, but just knew how to fight small better than the tall Bahmones knew how to fight tall. That's it. Done with this guy. I know. I think that's enough. I mean, you could challenge me on it if you want, but for me, that's how I deciphered it. That's the way I saw it.